Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I am going to tell you about the ancient city of Aquileia. Was situated near the head of the Adriatic Sea west of the Roman province of Illyria. The strategic location of the city served a crucial role in the expansion of the Roman Republic, by serving as a buffer against possible invasions from the Germanic tribes to the north. As a colony with major harbor facilities, Aquileia allowed the Romans to exploit both the neighboring gold mines as well as the region's own rich umber. To the north of the colony was the independent territory of Noricum. It would become a Roman province in 16 BC under Roman Emperor Augustus, 27 BC to 14 CE. Although Noricum controlled a few minor routes over the Alps, its location south of the Danube and abundant iron and gold reserves were far more valuable to the Republic, allowing trade to emerge between Noricum and northeastern Italy, namely Aquileia. As a buffer and center of trade, the city would eventually become one of the largest and wealthiest cities of the Roman Empire, becoming the capital of Venetia et Istria. Lying to the north and northeast of the Italian peninsula, far to the west of Aquileia lay Cisalpine and Transalpine Gaul. During the early and middle Roman Republic, the area was not considered part of Italia, which only extended to the foothills of the Apennines. Cisalpine Gaul comprised the area from the plains of the Po River to the Apennines, while Transalpine Gaul extended beyond the Alps northward. Although sources vary, Cisalpine Gaul was initially the home of the Etruscans. However, Celtic tribes from north of the Alps, the Insubres and Senons among them, gradually moved into the area, and by the end of the 4th century BC, the Etruscans had been completely forced out, thereby enabling the Celts, Gauls, to make the occasional raid into Italian territory. Around 390 BCE, the Celts were bold enough to push further south and sack the city of Rome. Tom Holland in his Rubicon wrote that a barbarian horde had burst without warning across the Alps, sent a Roman army fleeing from it in panic, and swept into Rome 234. Although sporadic raids continued into the 3rd century BCE, in 225 BC, Rome was able to defeat the Gallic invaders at Telmo, a city located on the coast of Etruria between Rome and Pisa. Realizing the importance and potential of the region, the Romans went on a 3-year campaign, capturing Mediolanum, Milan, in 223 BC. Further attempts to move northward were foiled by the Carthaginian commander Hannibal in the Second Punic War, 218 to 201 BC, where many of the Celtic tribes sided with Hannibal. After his defeat, Rome continued their foray into the region, establishing colonies at Cremona and Placentia, Piacenza. In 186 BCE, the region of Aquileia was still controlled by the Transalpine Gauls, who regulated travel across the Julian Alps. When the Gauls were expelled in 181 BC, the Romans established a colony there to protect and exploit the area's resources. Although often sacked by neighboring warring tribes, Aquileia's significance as a major crossroads was recognized by both Julius Caesar, 100 to 44 BC, and his successor Augustus. As a military stronghold, it is sometimes referred to as Roma Secunda or the Second Rome, serving as a supply center for the Roman army. During Caesar's decade away from Rome conquering Gaul and leading a campaign into Britain, Aquileia served as a winter headquarters. In his The Conquest of Gaul, he wrote of his preparation to fight the Helvetii. Besides the creation of 2 new legions, the Roman commander, Caesar, by rapid stages hastened back to Italy, where he summoned from their winter cantonments round Aquileia the 3 that formed his original establishment in these quarters. From the days of Caesar through the fall of the Western Roman Empire, Aquileia played an important but dubious role in history. It was besieged by fallen emperors, Germanic tribes, and lastly, the Huns. In 68 CE, Emperor Nero, r. 54 to 68 CE, with some assistance, committed suicide, leaving 4 Roman commanders to compete for the throne and control of a vast empire. The first of the 4, Galba, r. 68 to 69 CE, was killed by his own Praetorian Guard. His successor, Otho, r. 1969 CE, committed suicide as his army fell to his successor Vitellius, r. 69 CE. Now, it was left for Vitellius to face Vespasian, r. 69 to 79 CE, a popular and formidable commander. As Vespasian made his way to Rome, the Roman commander Marcus Primus threw his support to Vespasian, and with his Danubian legions marched into Italy, laying siege to Aquileia and routing Vitellius at Cremona. Vitellius would eventually be defeated, tortured, and killed in Rome. Despite the bloody events of 69 CE, the year of the 4 emperors, the period between Augustus and Marcus Aurelius, r. 161 to 180 CE, rule was known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, a time of relative peace and economic prosperity. It came to an end with the death of the emperor-philosopher Marcus Aurelius in 180 CE, and the ascent of the much-maligned Commodus, 180 to 192 CE. During this time, a plague was devastating the empire and would claim the life of the co-emperor Lucius Verus, r. 161 to 169 CE. In 167 CE, Germanic tribes to the north, the Quadi, Azyges, and Marcomanni, took advantage of the situation and drove through the lands south of the upper and middle Danube river, burning Opitergium and besieging Aquileia. For the first time in almost 3 centuries, barbarians were in Italy. Aurelius armed gladiators and slaves, forming 2 legions, Italica II and Italica III, and moved northward. Although there is some debate, Aquileia served as the first base for each legion. For the next 5 years, the emperor battled the barbarians, returning to Rome in triumph. Although the Roman Empire had been split into 2 by Emperor Diocletian, 284 to 305 CE, it was reunited by Constantine I, 306 to 337 CE. After his death, jealousy soon developed between his successors. In 341 CE, Constantine II, 337 to 340 CE, took advantage of Constans I's 337 to 350 CE absence and invaded Italy to face his brother's army. But Constans' remaining force ambushed and killed Constantine II at Aquileia. In 354 CE, Julian, 361 to 363 CE, a cousin, gained success in Gaul and Germany. Envious, Constantius ordered his little cousin to dispatch his army and send them east. Julian, of course, refused and marched to meet Constantius. After the city Aquileia was able to resist his attack, Julian was forced to continue to the east along the Danube, reaching the Balkans. However, he would never engage his cousin in battle. Constantius died before they met. I hope you enjoyed this video about the history of Aquileia and its role in the Roman Republic and Empire. Aquileia was a remarkable city that witnessed many events and changes in the ancient world. It was a center of trade, culture, and military power that left behind a rich heritage of archaeological and artistic treasures. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. See you next time.